France is widely recognized as a country of art and a cultural powerhouse. It is also a nation with which South Korea has close to 140 years of diplomatic relations. No wonder France and Korea also cooperate in the music sector. Recently, French and Korean music industry professionals got together for a conference in Seoul to discuss the future of K-pop and explore ways to collaborate. Now today, we connect to Leslie Dubest, CEO of a French independent music label who was one of the participants at that conference. Hello, Mr. Dubest.
Hi, Mr. Dubest.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Thank you for joining us. Now, Mr. Dubest, let's start with your impression of your recent visit to the home of K-pop, of course, Korea. How was it?
It was great. It was an incredible week, and I've been several times in Seoul and in South Korea, and I really appreciate and really loved it. So it was very cool as usual, I would say.
Right. And you were here in Korea for the Atelier K-pop Conference that was held in Seoul last month. What was this event about? Please tell us about it.
This event was about join forces from both of our country on the music side. I believe France is a little bit late to the party when it comes to collaborate with the K-pop industry, and so the initiative was coming from this National Center of Music in France and the French Embassy, combined with our local partner, Jake from Liwei, without whom nothing would have been possible. So we basically explore, discuss opportunities, ways to collaborate together. And the artists that came from France, a blend with a Korean producer, top liners, musician from JYP Entertainment, from Amplified Media and Top Media. And that was very fruitful, very interactive, and a lot of very good songs came out of that Atelier K-pop. A true success in the terms of relationship, music, content, and overall good vibes.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about those fruitful outcomes. And you also just mentioned that very good songs came out. And I did hear that 4 French songwriters wrote songs aimed at the K-pop industry while they were staying here in Seoul for around a week. So how did that turn out?
It turned out really well, actually. You never know, how things, our artists are going to combine their skills and influence and relationship, but it turns out that it was very interesting. When we had that listening session at JYP Entertainment Center, it was met with applause and enthusiasm. And I have to say that there was a wide range of variety of songs and vibes and the genre, and every team brought something to the table. That was truly interesting, and I believe some powerful songs will be picked and get out to the world from that atelier.
So they are not out yet, but we can expect them to be out soon, maybe?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was really recent. So the time of processing, listening and involving all the partners, then there's a careful selection about the songs for which artist and which, partners. So it might take a bit of time, but I'm sure we will see results on that.
Wow,
very
really
looking forward to
that. Yes.
Yeah, me too.
And now, Mr. Dubest, during the conference, you also mentioned that K-pop industry is where it is today. Thanks to various industries that are collaborating, integrating in the growth of K-pop. So, could you be able to elaborate on this as well?
You mean on the how things are blended and how the K-pop I think is really forward thinking in the terms of pushing the boundaries on the technology. And I mean, it's based on the cultural technology aspect. So we have various examples of ESPA, for example, that was created right away with the metaverse and avatar people combined with the real artists, involving also AI. We can think about TXT using VR. We can think about Eternity. That was a full AI band. We can also remember that there was some member of BTS in webtoons. I mean, there's there's loads of, way of combining the music, entertainment, and like all the tools and medium that are, existing today. And I think K-pop was really like pioneering that kind of like, synergy and way of thinking, but also based on the fact that initially social network were and are still a huge, powerful tool to spread the music and the Hallyu over the world when it was not so, exposed. So combining all that technology, all that entertainment, music, and bring it to a global audience is very interesting, and we have a lot to learn from K-pop on that aspect.
So basically you're saying the integration that we're talking about has a lot to do with high technology, because Korea is one of the top technology countries in the world. So technology and K-pop, and that's also one of the driving forces to get K-pop out into the world, I guess.
Right, and there's definitely now less boundaries, between music and technology,
exactly.
as, Mr. Dubest mentioned. And now I want to hear about K-pop in France as well. I know, K-pop boom is, going crazy everywhere globally. Who would you say is the most, popular K-pop artist in France right now, or, the most song that's most loved by France?
Yeah, we can see like the more and more people, and I can see, of course, I have access to the chart every week, and I can see that now there's like regularly #1 artists. So we can mention N.I.P.E.N, for example. We can mention Le Seraphim. We can mention G-Idol, of course. I'm even BTS is it's very logic. But we can see more and more band blowing up in France, and mostly on the live aspect. I mean, the translation so far is like massive concert like at the U Arena or Bercy, but like more. I think there's like at least 10, bands that are really, really big in France at the moment. TXT as well. So yeah, there's like definitely a fandom in France for all those bands. It's a bit harder to track which song is big at the moment, but I would say it's a global phenomenon where people are buying records, streaming overall Korean top bands, and definitely, there's a huge boom in France since a few years.
It's great to hear to have these K-pop songs on the music charts in France. And also, I have to say, many concerts are happening not only in France, but also Germany and other European countries. Sometimes I feel it's even easier to see these stars up close in other countries than in Korea. That's how often they make those world tours. But Mr. Dubest, as the CEO of an independent music label, are there any specific musicians that grab your attention, or is there anyone in the Korean K-pop industry you would like to work with? It could be a songwriter or an agency or a specific group or singer.
At the moment, we've started to explore. I'm very still humble on as I say, I came a few times and I exploring the indie scene. Recently, Poppy Fusée, that was part of the camp in that week, worked with a top producer called Junjaman in Seoul, and the result was great, I have to say. He remixed one of the track. We are about to start a collaboration with another producer that we love called Udini, and I actually on Arirang last week, but I couldn't check it out at Shazam, but I see a great band live, so I'm going to explore and check who it was. And also on the thing that struck me, there's a band called Adoy. I don't know if the pronunciation is great. That is like doing kind of like synthwave music, and it's really cool. And one of the prog rock or like pop band I love is Iyuko as well. So I'm still exploring and know and how to learn like the indie scene. But a few things start to appear that I really dig.
Wow.
Now, speaking of exploring, so how would you like to see Korean and French music scenes collaborate in the future through K-pop? And also, I mean, for me, I don't know that many French pop artists at this point, but I guess there are many in France now who are familiar with Korean big names like BTS or Blackpink, for instance. I would find it very interesting if through that collaboration, we here in Korea would also know more about these French artists.
Vice versa.
Right. So could you tell us more about the future of collaborations?
One of the things we've discussed last week and that has been on the agenda is how do we bring artists, of course, to France. We came to your country and it was great. And the idea would be to be a kind of like, the same initiative, but in France. So a good thing would be to start like writing camps and like meetings and combining talent from on both ends. And that's something we are discussing, and that is taking more, more space in the discussion between the partners. We could see also in the future like big pop artists or like, big rap artists collaborating with top Korean band or solo artist. I think it didn't yet happen. It's happening with Sin, like Rosé and like Bruno Mars, or like in the UK, in the US, there are more initiative. It didn't happen to France yet, but we are exploring. Perhaps on the Sin collaboration, as I say, but on a big scale, on big level, it's yet to happen. And I think that would be really exciting to combine, top French artists of any genre and top Korean artists. I guess it will happen in the near future.
I really hope so, because I mean, I lived in Germany before. Back then, I did listen to some French music. I can think of Alizé, for instance. But after coming to Korea, I don't really get to hear much of European music, but more from the US. So really, I would love to see that Europe and or France with Korea collaboration in the future. Now, thank you very, very much, Mr. Dubest, for sharing your insights today. And we look forward to creative music being born through many French-South Korean collaborations in the K-pop industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Merci beaucoup.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And thank you, Bella, as always. We're going to see you next time.
Yes, I'll see you next time.